I have a huge pimple on my face, so if you can see it, I'm not really bothered to edit it out, so just have fun looking at it for this whole video. Hey everyone, my name is Gianni, welcome to Meep Reads. So today I'm going to be reviewing Summer at Meadow by Amy Rebecca Tan. This book is just, the only way I can really describe it is unusual for a couple of reasons, mostly just the main characters, and I'll get on to that. So, I hope you enjoy. The protagonist in this story is Vic. Every summer, she goes to a camp called Meadow. Usually, she's excited to go, but this year she isn't. The only explanation we get as to why she doesn't want to go is because she saw an email her mom sent, and that's all the context we get. Throughout the summer, Vic finds ways to get past insecurities and other roadblocks in her path. So let's talk about the main characters real quick. It's a group of around 5 girls that are each 13, Vic included in this, and at first I realized that the author wanted to make these girls almost like they starred in one of those cringeworthy summer camp teen movies that you see, like on Disney or something like that. I then realized that these characters were not written like that at all, and they're actually written like they're 8-year-olds. It's really surprising that the author wanted us to seem like they were actually 13-year-olds, because for me, they were 8-year-olds the whole time. Now, this might just be me, because I don't know anyone else my age that actually acts like this. And this would have been at least bearable if Vic acted like this the whole time. See, remember how I mentioned her insecurities a couple of minutes ago? Well, the problem with this is that one minute she's really depressed and insecure, and then the next she's partying like an 8-year-old. It's just weird. It's like at first, it's like, oh yay, time to party, I need to learn my multiplication table and simple addition. And then it's like, I must pay my taxes. What has the government been doing this week? It's so weird because it's just so out of character, and just, it's such a wide range of emotions that it does not make sense at all. However, there was a character that I actually did like, but it wasn't one of the main characters. Her name's Vera, she's 7 years old, and I think the term for her was camp sister or something like that, and she's actually Vic's camp sister. So what it is that, like, these older kids mentor the younger kids so that they don't get homesick. It's something along those lines. I think what I liked most about her character was that she was extremely smart at some points. She was really showing off her intellect, but then at points where she needed it, she acted like her age. She acted like she was 7 years old. The only character that I can think of that I can compare Vera to is Sheldon Cooper at 9 years old from the TV series Young Sheldon. He's obviously a lot smarter than Vera, but just stick with me here for a minute. Sheldon's in college classes, and he does very well at them. He gets straight A's. But there are some episodes and points in episodes where he acts like a 9-year-old, and he asks his mom to do things. Like, there's this thing that she makes, it's like hot dogs cut into spaghetti, or like he asks her to tuck him in bed goodnight, things like that. And this is sort of what Vera's character was like, and I think the author did a great job developing her. However, there is one problem with this, and not with Vera's character, but the other characters. And that is the fact that Vera is more mature than these girls that are 6 years older than her. And it does not work at all, and I don't know why this happened, and I don't know who the author knows that's around this age that acts like this, but it ticks me off. Before I get any angrier, let's just move on and talk about the plot. All I can really say about the plot is that it developed really well. So I knew my way around this fictional summer camp as well, because if I didn't know what activities Vic and Vera were doing or anything like that, it just wouldn't have worked because I wouldn't know my place in all of this. Another thing that I did like about the plot was that the main problem of the story unwrapped really well, and the problem being the email that Vic's mom sent. And eventually we learn it's why Vic's parents are splitting up, but I just think that it unwrapped so well, and around the middle of the story, the secret gets finally revealed, but then it leads to the rest of the story for Vic to move on from that and just feel better about herself. So now, let's move on to the surprisingly well-written ending. The ending was extremely satisfying for me because it didn't have a final outcome. It didn't have a really set outcome. And I used to hate on these endings, but I am very happy to say, for one of the few times that I've ever existed, that I was wrong. I was extremely wrong, and I'm very happy to say that. Now let me explain why. The reason I like these sort of endings now is because it fills you up with creativity for you to decide the final outcome for the characters that you like. And also, should the author choose to make a sequel, they can make sure that any start of the book is okay. Any problem that they have in this book is fine, even if it wasn't mentioned at all in the first one. For example, the author could set it months, days, even years after the first one and have a whole new problem, but it would still be okay because time has still passed. To explain this a little bit further, let's say I just wrote this book called Billy's Lemonade Stand. So of course Billy has a lemonade stand, but Billy is having trouble with it. He's getting less sales than before. During the end, he also mends his relationship with this cousin that he has. During the final pages, he has an idea to increase sales for his lemonade stand, all while his cousin can help, therefore mending their relationship even further. And that's the end of the book. Should I choose to write a sequel, I could start a few weeks, months, or years after the first book was set, with Billy's lemonade business either booming or burnt out a long time ago with his relationship with his cousin completely torn out. So I made this scenario up in only a few minutes, but that just goes to show how much creativity you can get with these endings. So in the end, do I think it was worth reading? I'm going to say that even though it was very unrealistic in a couple of ways, I do think it was worth reading, because there might be a couple of kids out there that have to deal with their parents being split up, and this would be a great book to recommend for them. However, I'm still going to keep this book at neutral just because of a couple of problems that I had. Also, I didn't really need this book because my parents are still happily married. Love you, Mom and Dad. But they're fine, so I didn't really need this to mend any problems that I was having, just to help me cope with that sort of thing. So I'm going to leave it at neutral, but if you know any kids that's going through this sort of scenario, I definitely think you should recommend it to them. And that is going to end today's video. Thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video. And also subscribe if you haven't already, so you get notified when new book reviews come out. So this is my first book review after a little while, and I'm really happy to say that I like doing this a lot more than before, because I think I'm better scripted, I guess I should say. I'm better spoken than before, which I'm really satisfied about. And hopefully I made the green screen a little bit better, and also the audio as well. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.